Welcome to the show with no interference. Get all your NFL needs made by fans for the fans. We are your hosts, West Side, Big Sass, and the Bull. So here we go. All right, welcome to the show with no interference. We are your hosts, the three-headed monster, West Side, Big Sass, and the Bull. Kind of a dead zone with the NFL as of late. Not too much is going on. But we're going to dive into a few hot topics right now and then discuss the recently released schedule a little bit. So here we go. So start with a little bit of sad news, I guess. Tarik Cohen working on his comeback story after basically missing, I think he's only played 2 games in 2020, and then he's missed all the rest of the season and all of 2021. He was doing a live workout, goes down, and then they announce that he tore his Achilles. So he's officially done for the year, basically. Other than it being kind of a sad moment, what were your all's thoughts on the situation?
It's just a bad break.
Yeah, I personally didn't even realize that he hadn't played since the beginning of 2020. I mean, did he tear his ACL in a game earlier in that season?
I believe so. It was like in week 2 or week 3.
And then he was out all of that season and then last season, which I feel like is kind of abnormal for ACL injuries nowadays. Like, obviously the full season, but then they'd be out the entire next season. I know everybody's different in the way they heal, and not saying he has a low pain tolerance, but I mean, everyone's pain tolerance is different. Maybe he wasn't ready. It could have been a mental thing if he had mental blocks and it was a hard road to recovery. But definitely sucks that I guess he was ready to go this year and then he tears his Achilles, which I would say is probably a tougher injury to come back from than the ACL.
Yeah, they're saying the Achilles is the new ACL. Especially, I know in basketball, that's like a career ruiner right now.
Yeah, it's just unfortunate since he already missed so much time, and he was looking forward to coming back, and then bam, right back. Gives you Clay Thompson vibes.
Yeah, and I just pulled up his contract. He's due to make $5 million next year, which would have been his biggest payday for any given year. Any chance the Bears keep him, or do you think they cut him after this year?
They're gonna cut him. Kind of hard to keep somebody that can't play for you.
So, what exactly was his contract situation? Was he on?
He's signed through.
I mean, technically, he played 4 years.
He's signed through 2023.
Okay, so he must have signed a contract after his rookie deal with them.
Yeah, I think he signed some sort of extension.
Okay. I mean, it's tough to say. I mean, what they want to do. I don't know how much of that is guaranteed and whatnot. I mean, it's not that much. $5 million is most he's going to earn. And I mean, he's not a workhorse running back. He's obviously a receiving back. In 2020, he played 3 games. He had 14 carries and 6 catches. So it's not like there's extra tread on his legs. I know he's got injured, so you can say that's tread in a way. But I mean, he's never had more than 100 carries. He had 79 catches in 2019 and 71 in 2018. So I think there's a place for him. He's young enough to recover. So I think if he has good rehabilitation or rehab, whatever, and the Bears are willing to keep him for another year, I think he could come back and have a spot. But yeah. I think also if they end up releasing him, I definitely think a team would pick him up.
Yeah, I mean, he's a small guy. I think he's listed at 5'6", 170 pounds or whatever.
191.
Oh, really?
5'6", 191.
He doesn't look that like thick, but
No, it doesn't.
I was going to just say, like, you look at someone like Darren Sproles, who played like 12 years or whatever in the league. And it just goes to show what kind of an outlier he was, because a lot of these smaller backs, and I think you see it a lot in college, a lot of these smaller backs, people are going, okay, put him at slot, like hopefully they can be a receiver. But Cohen's also, he was one of the better return guys in the league. I hope he comes back.
I mean, when he's healthy, he's very elusive. He's shifty. But
I mean, he definitely is not like his career is over. It is going to be a long road to recovery. Honestly, as long as you avoid like a neck or like nerve injury, there's always a chance. And I mean, he's a receiver out of the backfield, like someone like Bill Belichick. He always wants a guy like that on his team.
Yeah, I could definitely see him going to the Patriots. They'd be a good fit, actually.
I mean, hey, Danny Woodhead, he had all those injuries and he still played for a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was reading here. He forgot about that, but I was reading here. So he had a torn ACL and MCL and a tibia injury, or tibia. So I mean, I guess if it was,
he's got the bug. That's
just
for
the
sure.
ACL.
Got
if it wasn't just the ACL,
someone's just got a bad leg.
Heard that.
Yeah, for real. All right, so again, not a lot going on in the league, so we don't have a lot of fun and exciting things to talk about. So the next topic is Deshaun Watson. So apparently the league met with him today to discuss his case, probably to negotiate a suspension or punishment of some sort. He RJ, what was it? He had a hearing or whatever that he talked about the girl.
Well, he was. Hold on, I'm actually looking at the thing right now.
This says that
he testified. So
yeah, it says Watson. Yeah, it says Watson reveals the 26-year-old denied doing anything to make a massage therapist cry, and that he did state the therapist had watery eyes and after the session, and he texted her and apologized. I haven't read the whole story, so I mean, if he felt the need, I mean, it's possible, if you don't do anything to somebody and something still makes them feel uncomfortable somehow, you want to apologize, but it's still like, if he apologized,
it's a sign of guilt.
Like, does he feel guilty about something he did? Even maybe he didn't think it was something bad, but then afterwards he's like, "Oh shit, she cried. Let me apologize."
Yeah, I mean,
his text is. So his text is, "Sorry about you feeling uncomfortable. Never were the intentions. Let me know if you want to work in the future. My apologies."
Well, my thing is, like, he said that wasn't my intention, but like that means he did something.
Yes.
Like,
yeah.
If you're just awkward and you're like, "Oh, sorry," I get you saying sorry, but when you say sorry, that wasn't my intentions, I'm just like, what were your intentions? What did you do? But I'm all for, he's innocent until proven guilty. Even though being a Titans fan, I'm a pretty big Deshaun Watson hater. But I mean, there's a lot of girls coming out. So we'll just have to wait. The league, I think, that's probably the better conversation. If you're Roger Goodell or I mean, forget the Browns. They already gave him all the money in the world, to an extent. If you're the NFL, like, what do you do? Because you don't want to have a Ray Rice situation where you under suspend him, and then it comes back to bite you, and then you gotta one up yourself.
Did Ray Rice play ever again?
No, because the league suspended him 3 or 4 games, I think.
And then
the video got leaked, and then they got a bunch of backlash. So they're like, okay, you're suspended the rest of the year, and then that was it.
Signed after that.
Gotcha.
Which I felt kind of sucked for Ray Rice. I think if he just got a justifiable suspension from the get, he probably would have played a couple more years.
Oh, definitely. So I mean, so happened to Kareem Hunt.
Tarik Hill.
Yeah, that was a
Tarik
weird one
Hill.
too, because obviously there's no excuse for violence of that nature. And then his case towards his wife, but I mean, they're still together, and they worked it out. So I don't know. That's a weird one to talk about. But I mean, back to Sean Watson. I hadn't read these details, what RJ was just mentioning, like the text message and whatnot. If this is like the first, this is like the first time we've heard Deshaun Watson admit something actually fishy happened, right?
Mm,
Kind of like that he
as far
openly
as I know.
apologized to
No,
somebody.
the text messages had been out there. This is the first
Okay,
time that he had verbally like gone along with the text messages.
okay. I mean, during the whole when everything was coming out, I had no idea what to expect. I mean, I wouldn't have been surprised if he was never in the NFL again, and I'm not surprised the way it went. I think some people were surprised how much money Cleveland gave him, even though I know there's stipulations to that. I think they can get out of it
They can get
year
out
after
of
year.
it every single year. They can get out of it.
Yeah. So, I mean, there's that. Um, I don't know. Most of what I've heard is that it sounds like he's going to get a 6 to 8 game suspension if more stories start coming out like this, or he has to keep speaking on stories like this and he has the same kind of explanation. I guess it's going to turn into what the reaction the fans and regular people who aren't fans of the NFL give, and then maybe that'll, just like the Ray Rice situation, they turned a 3 game suspension into whatever ended up being, and he never played again. So
Yeah.
I guess we'll
Indefinitely.
find out.
From what I've been listening to, like you said, I think the league is right now where we're at thinking 6 to 8, and then he can appeal to take 2 off of it, and the league will be like, okay, we'll meet in the middle. Well, not meet in the middle, but
Yes.
compromise. But and who knows what's happening behind doors? But if you're the NFL, it's almost like, and even Deshaun Watson, like if he is 100% innocent, I think it hurts him because the like Goodell and the league's investigators are like, tell us what happened, like what did you do? And if he did do something, and he was like, okay, I'm sorry, this is what happened, blah blah blah. The league would be like, okay, we get it. Here's your suspension. Just serve it, and we can get back to the playing. But if he's just sitting there going, I'm innocent, I didn't do anything, as the league in the back of your head, you're like, what do we do? Because it sounds like something happened, but if we only suspend him 2 games or no games, and then like week one, Wednesday night before the opening kickoff, some videotape comes out, and then the league just looks
Well,
terrible.
maybe
I
they
was
should wait to see it, until it's actually done and all the facts are out, and then suspend him accordingly. It's not like you can't suspend him halfway through the season if they're going through, and then you can avoid all of that.
That's
Or
true.
if it ends up being the
Imagine,
last half of the season, too bad. You
imagine
shouldn't have did
this.
your dirty deeds, you bastard. Like, come on.
Imagine this: the Browns go 8-0 to start the year, and then he gets suspended, and they lose out because they got rid of Baker Mayfield.
Yeah, and that's another thing too.
Baker
Where's
Mayfield.
he
I don't
going?
think Baker Mayfield will walk on that field.
Yeah, I think
I don't think he'll ever play for them again.
Yeah, the mutual. You could feel the tension being all the way where we are here in the DMV area.
Yeah.
I don't think there's ever going to be any kind of future between them, especially with everything
Yeah.
that's been said after the fact too.
Yeah. Taylor, I was kind of smiling when you were talking about like what the NFL could do, and I think you were saying if he like admits to doing some stuff, and like what happens if he did that, and they're like, just tell us, it'll be fine, but then they're like, gotcha, and they're like, you're out of the league forever. And you'd
Well,
be
that's
no.
like
FBI flip him.
that's like when I don't think there's any problem with us talking about it. I don't know. I can cut this out if we think I shouldn't say it. On Cobra Kai, this on the show on Netflix, Johnny's trying to look
Newer
for a
season?
job to whatever. If you haven't seen it, you haven't seen it. When Johnny's trying
RJ
to
hasn't seen it.
John,
You're gonna finish off.
okay. Well, this I'm not going to spoil what happened, but Johnny's looking for a job, and the manager is like, "Listen, we all know you make mistakes. Just tell us what happened." And he's like, "Well, I was arrested for public intoxication, and then I got in a fight with some minors, and then I did this, and then I like got in a big bar fight, and then the manager's like, you need to leave."
Yeah.
You're good, RJ. RJ. and then this was. But yeah,
It's
There's too
possible.
many shows to watch.
it's a weird situation. I know the league's definitely sweating it. For sure they're looking at the Browns like, why couldn't you just set up his first year of his contract so it allowed for us just to get rid of him for a year if we need to? But I would say hopefully everything comes out in the court system, but it probably won't. Enough about that. I think we've wasted enough time. We'll dive into
Now
it
that you're all
more.
depressed.
We'll dive into
Yeah.
it more if and when the league comes out about it.
Living in a world so cold.
But like we talked about earlier, the league announced the schedule, and maybe in some future pods we can break down divisions at a time and maybe do our win-loss records for teams as predictions. But for now, I think we're just going to talk about some games that we're excited about now that we have the full schedule out. And I guess I'll just go first because it's week one.
No, I want to go first. Go ahead.
Week one, Broncos versus Seattle.
Yep.
Most
drama.
And it's at Seattle, so the league knew what they were doing. Russell Wilson is going home. I would say it would be like a Bronco beatdown, but it's a new quarterback on a new team. Well, a veteran quarterback going to a new team. So they might have some weeks to get the chemistry together or whatnot. It would be awesome if Seattle could make it a competitive game, but to open the year on that, I think that's the game I'm looking forward to. That's the game I'm for sure watching.
Is this the first time a quarterback gets traded in the first game? That's the next season. He's playing against his old team at that stadium. But no, it happens throughout their career. Eventually, they go back and play their home team. Their old team at the home.
You said
field.
like the first game back.
Yeah, first game of the season.
Oh.
Just got traded right back.
I mean, the NFL now, it's always been this way, but the schedule is such a the NFL is really in tune with things that have gone on in the offseason and kind of what the fans would want to watch, obviously for better ratings. So
they like the plots and schemes and what's going to be a chippy game, what's going to bring out the intensity, bring out that real rivalry. And
that was week one, you said, right?
Yep, week one.
They're all about it's an entertainment business at the end of the day, and that's what they're trying to do with this kind of schedule.
Yeah. That's a good one. One of the ones I had starred for week one, which was just one of my overalls, is maybe not as popular of a game. I don't think it's prime time. Hang on. Yeah. Is Vegas at the Chargers, mostly just because the additions both teams made, and that division's probably going to be the heavy hand of the league. Vegas added Devontae Adams. How's Derek Carr? Is he going to make a huge leap from the rest of his career? I think most people say he had a good year last year, especially as a leader. Can he add to that with Devontae Adams? And then the Chargers added a lot of
J.C. Jackson,
especially on defense.
Khalil Mack,
Maryland boy.
Yeah, so right off the bat, we get to see two teams that are playoff contenders go at it. So I'm excited for that one.
Yeah, my favorite. I guess my favorite one to start off would be Bills Rams. Got the contending champs going against the would-be champs. Stars
that one,
on both sides of the ball.
That was my second favorite for week one, just for the firepower.
Yeah, and you got Von Miller playing against a team we just won a Super Bowl with. So
I forgot about that.
Good one.
Yeah, that's a good point. So I'm gonna, just so we don't take forever on this, I'm gonna fast forward to week 3. Because
I was gonna fast forward to week 9.
Week 3.
You guys just skip week 2.
Week 3, the Eagles are making the trip to Washington.
There we go.
So the Carson Wentz
revenge game. It should be 2-0 Washington Commanders.
I picked. Sorry, not to cut you off, but since one of my games was the same, I picked the opposite game when the Washington comes to Philly,
which is a little later down.
Gotcha.
road,
That's
yeah.
I mean
But
that's
yeah,
a
you'll
good game
probably make the
too.
same points.
I just think that the first time is gonna, they're gonna,
Just playing. Is Wentz playing the Eagles
Especially
again in general?
it's week 2, so it's a lot less time. Like, who knows
3.
what's happening by middle of week 3? A lot less will be a lot more will be known about the teams. Like, who knows? Maybe both teams will suck by the meeting when Carson Wentz comes to Philly.
Yeah.
So this meeting, maybe Carson Wentz is having a really good 2 games. Washington fans will be definitely behind him if that's the case, unless he comes out and throws like 18 interceptions in the first 2 games, which
Playing
doesn't
Jacksonville
happen.
and Detroit those first 2 weeks. If they're not 2-0, we got issues.
Yeah, so you'll be 2-0, and not to hijack this, Taylor, as your favorite game, but it was a good one to pick.
Mhm.
But
Definitely
the
Carson.
Washington fans will be
Yeah.
behind Carson Wentz,
Mhm.
and then obviously it's a rivalry. So I mean, me and you have a mutual respect for each other's teams, but you'll boo
Yeah,
the
I tell
Eagles
people
in
that
this
all the time.
situation. Yeah,
It's
so
there's
that's a good
always
one.
a division rivalry, but the respect's always there. But yeah, no, him going to the link is definitely going to be a little more. I think more pressure on him at the end of the day. He's going to be
Those
surrounded
Philly
by
fans.
the
I think he'll get a cheer instead of a jeer.
a
what
cheer.
week is it? Week 9?
Oh, that's bad. 9 is when he
Week
goes.
9.
Yeah.
I was gonna say
When
it
he
probably
goes.
won't be
No, week 6,
Oh, I think you said 9
week
because
10.
you said 9 earlier. That's why I thought.
week 10.
I
Is
see
it
what
gonna be
you're
cold
talking about.
enough to maybe get snow so you can just get a snowball to the face?
Ah!
Oof, that'd be rough.
He runs all the tunnel waving.
Actually, that'd be funny.
This reminds me of McAfee's story being in Philly. Pat McAfee.
Oh, I know.
Ain't nothing wrong
Do you
with
guys have
getting
any other
drunk and
games
going for a
before?
swim.
Do you guys have any more before week 9
Yeah.
that you like a lot?
Yeah.
Yep. Browns Ravens week 7.
Yep, that was
Should be a
mine.
good division game.
Because
Yeah.
Watson should be playing by then.
Yeah, definitely that. There's another one too. What Chiefs Buccaneers week 4, Pats Buccaneers week 3. There's a lot of good games.
I got one
It's
week
high-powered
9.
teams.
A little biased, but Titans Chiefs week 9.
That was my Thunder.
Oh, sorry.
That's the week 9 game you're
That's the
talking
one
about.
I
Okay.
started for
That was
week
the
9.
9. Okay.
Because both teams, maybe you could argue if they got worse or whatnot, but the Titans in the regular season, I think, if I'm not mistaken, have a 3-game win streak against the Chiefs in the regular season.
Sounds about right.
Which is nice. I would love to have that kind of stat sheet against Mahomes and crew.
Yeah. So those are reasons why I like this game. I also put in my notes that maybe Malik Willis could be starting by then.
I was just thinking
That
who's gonna
could
get a
mean
quarterback?
your season's not going that great. It could be Derrick Henry carries you to 7 or 6 wins, or even 5 wins. I mean, 5 and 3 would be good by then. But then Ryan Tannehill's just not doing that good.
Listen, when you're
That'd be pretty cool
when
to see
you're
Malik Willis.
when you're a
Yeah.
diehard, as long as if the team's winning, I don't care. If it, like when I was a huge Mariota fan, and as soon as he's started to just stinking it
Fizzle.
up, and they put Tannehill in, I was like, he's done. Get him out of here. New guy's up. So
Yeah.
if Tannehill starts out rough and Malik Willis comes in and is lighting it up, by
Yeah.
Tannehill.
I was gonna say how you feeling about going into the season with Tannehill as your starter? You pretty just gonna ride the wave until he.
It's
does
I
that?
mean it's
If he
and
does
it's
that.
not even he's had 2 bad playoff games, but in the regular season I feel like I know what I'm gonna get.
Pretty consistent.
He's getting a little older. This might not be the best receiving core in the world, but last year with all the injuries, he was thrown to practice squad players for most of the year. So we'll see. If Derrick Henry's healthy, I mean that's the straw that stirs the drink for us. So
I still can't believe you guys traded AJ Brown. It's just, ugh.
yeah.
And now we always talk about him and Terry, and now they gotta see each other twice a year.
A lot of people are. Go ahead.
What was Derrick Henry's injury last year?
He broke his 5th metatarsal, and it's the farthest outside bone on your foot.
Foot.
All right, say foot next time.
Layman's terms always.
Even though it was a foot injury, I mean, he had most of the year off, so I mean, he should be well rested.
Mhm.
Yeah.
He's the king for a reason.
We're big fans of King Henry here. He best running back in the league.
He's for the people.
Stamp.
Yep.
All right,
I
we're
had
going
a
to week 10.
game. Oh wow!
Another
What
week
you got
9.
from week 10?
Yeah, week 9.
No, I was
still?
gonna go to week 12.
Oh, you keep skipping. Skip the Lou, my darling here. All right, Cowboys Packers. Mike McCarthy's first time going back to Green Bay. I'm gonna be rooting hard for them cheeseheads. Been a few times I've had to root for the cheeseheads, even though
Is that
I
his
just
first time
them.
back in Dallas? Good
Since
investigation by itself.
Since he's been in Dallas, yeah, it's his first time back. I remember
That'll
when they
be a warm
signed him.
welcome.
He's not the savior. He will never be the savior. Cowboys suck.
And
Case
honestly,
closed. Erase your foes.
Ain't nothing else
the
to say.
Cowboys, I feel like this is a big season for them. Like if
It
they
really is. All seriousness.
if they don't like come out strong and this can't be a season where they miss the playoffs or even limp into the playoffs. So I think McCarthy is gone then.
Mm-hmm. I mean, they could
They
have.
definitely got worse.
Did you see they're already hyping up Zeke? They're talking about how
did he get a wheelchair?
They're talking about in practice that his he was hitting 22 miles an hour in practice. So they're like, he's back.
Nah, I'd like to see that speed. I like to see that radar gun.
Yeah, he's
same one.
It shows it, and it's like a hype video, and then the cameraman like accidentally pans over, and he's laying on the ground.
No. I was gonna say he's riding around on a bike. He's on one of like the golf carts or something.
Or like
he always wears the crop top. He'd be laying down like Joey Diaz in
can of corn.
Can of corn.
Can of corn.
I'm just thinking
okay.
it's like an old school movie scene, like with the background just moves along. He's really just standing still, like moving his upper body. Because Pollard's gonna take over. They shall all see.
Yeah, I like Tony Pollard.
But
did you have any more between then and 12, Taylor?
I have one for week 12. But you can go ahead.
I don't know how important this game is going to be, or if a certain player, Deshaun Watson, is going to be playing. But I like
Bucks,
to see
Browns.
Tampa Bay versus Cleveland.
Yeah,
that's what you picked.
No, but I had that one as like I wrote it down.
Yeah, I mean, Tom Brady coming back from retirement, if you want to call it retirement. Deshaun Watson either doesn't get suspended, or he's a few games after being suspended. Could be a high-powered offenses going toe-to-toe. So,
yeah, I was gonna say, assuming he doesn't get a huge suspension, he's been playing. Hopefully, they got their chemistry going. The Browns should have a potent offense, so it should be a pretty high point total in this one.
We should bet and see how long the running backs will stay in for the Browns all season.
Mine for that week, and it's a little bias, is the Titans-Bengals rematch.
That's a good one. I didn't get that one.
That's a good one. What week is that one?
Week 12.
12.
So, will Tannehill throw 3 picks again? Will the Titans get 9 sacks again? Who knows?
I was going to say, that one will definitely be more saucy if Tannehill's still playing.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. He needs some redemption.
Speaking of, well, not even redemption, but just speaking of, week 13. And I'm picking good games, guys. I'm not being biased. Week 13, Titans-Eagles, the A.J. Brown game.
Mm-hmm.
In a perfect world, I would like A.J. Brown to get locked up and Treylon Burks to go for like $150, maybe 2 TDs.
Yeah, I guess they're going to lock him up in that jail cell they have underneath the stadium. Damn Philly dirty bastards.
I mean, Treylon Burks is the type of receiver that would smoke the Eagles, and the Titans have a history of receivers smoking the Eagles. We're not going to talk about the old big fella.
You guys got some good secondary action going on there now, especially with Adam Bradbury.
Yes, great addition.
Two solid number, 1, 2 right there on the outside. I forgot your slot guy's name, and then you got your safety. I mean, it's gonna be
Avonte Maddox.
Yeah, Maddox. Yeah, that secondary is not something to blink an eye at.
That Kenny Britt game was Kerry Collins.
Oh, Kenny Britt.
That was Kerry Collins' last time to shine, where he was just slinging
He
it.
got scorched.
Then he have like
That'd be a good
200
game, though.
yards and like 3 touchdowns.
Hopefully, AJ Brown, you want him locked up. I want him to have a $150 and 3 touchdowns.
You guys are
You
going to
can
go to
have
that
it.
game, right? You got to go.
That's the plan.
We
Yeah.
talked about it. Yep.
Yeah,
Go to
because we're definitely
Philly.
going to go Washington Titans.
Taylor's gonna have a Titans jersey on, but then it's gonna be tear away Eagles jersey just in case things go south.
Just make sure you
So-
stand with like in between all the Eagles fans. That
I'm
are
just
cool.
I'm gonna bring
protect the other Eagles fans.
I'm gonna bring cheesesteaks tucked under my jersey, so when someone starts trouble, I'm like, here, and just throw cheesesteaks.
Nah, just bring the whiz.
at 'em.
All you need to do is bring the whiz, so you just start squirting in people's faces when they come at you.
Whiz shots.
Yeah. Oh, he's got whiz. It's cool.
It's hilarious.
That
would
John-
actually be pretty funny.
Yeah. But yeah, that'll be a good game. So I only have one more on my schedule. So y'all want to talk about some games, and then we can circle back.
I'm gonna backtrack to Bengals Steelers Week 1. I think it's gonna be a good game.
It's not a backtrack. You just got in the
we were way past that.
Back to the Future.
You said circle back, just because I want to see with Pittsburgh losing Ben, and then you got Super Bowl contenders Bengals. What's gonna happen? Because those are always good games. Now it's also, like I said, with Ben Roethlisberger.
Kenny Pickett's first game
come out hot.
Start.
It's gonna be battle of the small hands.
I mean, the AFC North is definitely gonna be a competitive division next year. It's gonna be exciting to see.
What would you do if Kenny Pickett's first pass, he goes for a throw and the ball fumbles out of his hand?
Well, we better put some.
If it's raining,
or
if
both.
it's raining, I don't know if he's played how much in Pitt with the rain, but them gloves are slippery in the rain.
I'm gonna have to look up the fumble bet for Kenny Pickett for the year.
I'd be curious. Look at the center for the Steelers. See if he's always got a towel on him.
Hanging off his trousers.
Yeah. For the butt sweat,
little extra
and
butt
grease.
paddage. Slap ass.
Yeah, I'm not gonna circle back like that.
I just wanted to mention earlier. I forgot.
Yeah, I got 2 games on my list left. One is, I'm just gonna say them both. Philly at Dallas, Week 16 on a Saturday.
Yeah,
that could have playoff implications.
That's always
They
good.
usually play at the end of the year. Yeah, they usually play at the end of the year, so we'll see what's going on there. And then I also did Baltimore at Cincinnati, Super Bowl champs. Baltimore's hoping to have a comeback year. Yeah, so end of the year, most likely we'll also have playoff.
Hopefully, I hate it when teams like are already set, so they just can bench their starters.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. The only one I'm going to say is just Dallas Washington Week 18 because it's not even scheduled yet. They're ready for the flex on that in case there's any kind of stuff we're talking about with the Eagles Cowboys too. Any kind of playoff implications. You can flex the game to a better time. So that's all to be determined. I was like, sweet, they have faith in us.
So you're saying there's a chance?
Yeah.
So I had only one more game. This is Week 15. Raiders Pats. Ooh. McDaniel going home.
Oh, that's a good one. Plus, not only that, they both could be fighting for playoff contention at that time.
Will the apprentice surpass the master?
I don't think so. McDaniel's a scrub. Y'all know how I feel about him.
He did it once in Denver.
I still gotta do my China shopping. Just forgot about that. Gotta add him and Schneider.
Well, that's it for schedule breakdown. I think we picked all the good games. Honestly, if you're a fair weather fan, just watch our schedule. You'll be good to go for the season. You can fit the rest of the games.
Yeah. Give the NFL props on their. They know how to set up some entertaining schedules.
What we'll have to do, we'll have to print out a chart and we'll go by and do win-loss for every game.
For us 3.
Yeah, we can like off air. We'll do it,
and then we have records for ourselves.
Yeah,
we can do our own and see who's terrible.
And like every weekly, we could do the picks. Do picks. We keep track. A few games.
Not to brag, but I'm pretty good. I'm pretty good about the weekly pick'ems.
Well, I'll be betting those same games, so better be.
You can have your lock of the week.
Lock of the weeks. Yep. Just gonna need the season to get here. At least training camp. Jesus.
Yeah. I'm trying to see if there's any other
I'm
NFL
hoping the
news that
injury
came
bug
out.
lays off of all the teams this year and COVID stays the hell away.
Yeah,
Past few
how did
years seem like it's been riddled. Like,
not
obviously, COVID
to
didn't help, but
not to talk about different sports, but how did Al Horford miss game 1 and then 2 days later he's cleared to play?
is he vaccinated? Because remember, it's in shorter times when you're vaccinated now.
You don't know who's vaccinated, who's not vaccinated in the NBA.
Fair enough.
Um,
It's none of our business, really.
he needed to get 2 back-to-back PCR tests within 12 or 24 hours, and if he's asymptomatic and he gets negative tests, he can play.
So did Marcus Smart have the same thing? Were they both COVID protocol stuff? I know
Marcus
this was
Smart
health and safety
sprained his
protocols.
Marcus Smart sprained his foot at the end of Game 7 against Milwaukee.
Okay,
He's
because I
playing.
didn't even see that. Good, because
Yeah, I'm
yesterday.
glad they're both back because Derek White is having the birth of his child, so he went back to Boston. He's out.
Priorities, come on.
Yeah, I mean, I was working yesterday, but I saw that I came out. You guys had a lead, and then I saw a little Jason Tatum drive to a little nice little touch pass to Rob Williams for an oop. I was like, oh, okay. You guys had a 4-point lead. And I walk out again, and it's like a 10-point lead Miami. I'm like, son of a bitch. Like, what's going
Yeah,
on?
they killed us.
Yeah.
Well,
You guys kept, you were competing.
I got 2 more little minor topics. So Sam Cook, punter for the Ravens.
Oh, yeah.
Officially retired. 16
I thought
seasons.
he was only 43, 45. He's only
30,
he's only 39.
39.
I thought he was like grandpa age already.
But 16 seasons out of Nebraska. I think his career net for punting is like, or his career average for punting is like 45 yards. Maybe future Ring of Honor guy for him, but
one of the better
what was
punters
his
of all
rookie
time.
year?
06.
That's hilarious because when we all started, we've all been fans of our teams since we were younger. But I mean, middle schoolish, we started really early high school watching every games, paying attention to the NFL constantly. I thought he'd been in the NFL for 10 years by then.
That's exactly. That's what I thought.
I
He was
really
way
thought he'd
older
been
than
playing
39.
for like 20 years.
Yeah, I will say I just naturally assumed he was in his early 40s. I mean, 39,
Yeah.
early 40s. It's not that big of a difference. But
I thought he was 45 at least, like Artie said.
Yeah, 100%. I was like, wait, he's only 39. I was like, oh, he's younger.
Every time
way
it
younger than I
shows the
thought he
Ravens
was.
roster, every time the Ravens roster come up and they go out of Kentucky or wherever.
So
I'm like, oh, he's still playing.
I don't know how factual it is, but after he did his like retirement presser, John Harbaugh got interviewed about him, and he said that almost all the modern day, well, not modern, but current nowadays punting is basically because of Sam Cook. Because he said he was the first. He said he was the first one to introduce rugby style kicks. He said before that you just kicked it, down the left, down the right, and then that's it. And then Cook is trying to drop punt specific spots and drop them certain ways to get the ball to bounce where they want.
I mean, he's always been one of the top punters too. I mean, he's consistent. I just can't believe it's been 16 years.
Yeah, and then
he was there with Stover.
Yep, he played. He has a record for most games played by a Raven. The only game he missed,
256 or something.
Only game he missed in his career is because he missed one game during the COVID outbreak.
Wow, you can't even do anything about that.
That's almost as bad as Eli Manning's Ironman record being broke because the coach benched him for one game and then said, "Never mind, we actually want you to play."
Who was that?
McAdoo.
Yes. Thank God the Eagles
didn't
hire him.
I don't know why, but that one thing angered me so much. Like, Titan stuff aside, McAdoo benching him just to try and buy himself some more time and then ruining his Ironman streak for one game. Like, I'm not even an Eli fan, but playing that long in the league and not getting hurt, and then a coach, just an idiot, bad coach, messes. I wish the owner of the Giants would have been like, "No, you're fired, Eli. You're starting today."
Yeah.
And the last thing I wanted to talk about, Aaron Donald. He's still not under contract.
Oh.
I guess we assume he's playing, right?
He's under contract.
He said he wanted to run it back,
but he's not. if you're the Rams, do you give him like a fat deal just because he deserves it and he's like been with your team,
Well,
or do you like
he's-
try and get him just to give you like a little veteran deal?
I mean,
I
he's
mean,
still one of the best.
I don't think he's
deep
gonna
best
take a
attack-
veteran
defensive tackle in
deal.
the league.
Yeah, he could do the LeBron James thing where he takes 1 year deal, but 10, 15 million.
So yeah, what's the
I don't
minimum
think he
for
would take
defensive
less
tackle?
than 10.
Not the minimum.
I mean,
For his caliber.
for him,
Like, what-
20 million.
20
But,
million is what I was thinking. Yeah,
but
Yeah,
the
I mean,
Rams they're
and
pretty
they
strapped,
pay-
I think.
yeah. If you had the money, I'd pay it. But if they don't have it, then
Listen,
maybe might
yeah,
take a
I mean,
hometown deal. Not hometown, but
they're printing money out there in LA. And they got apparently enough draft picks to trade. So I mean, if he wants 20 million in 1 year, I'm sure they would do it.
I would do it.
Yeah.
Darren Donald.
Yeah, I mean they're running it back. Everybody wants to repeat.
It's just will it happen?
He is a beast. Whole defense is centered around him. I'll never forget where he blocked. He not blocked. He knocked over the entire Cowboys D line.
Was that like a triple team?
Well, he like cut in the well, not the whole team, but he cut outside the left guard and then shouldered him, and it was like dominoes, and they all like
knocked
fell
people
over.
Yeah. That was like that wasn't last season. It was season
2 years
season
ago.
before. Yeah.
Yeah, I just watched it. And I was
Remember
like,
sending that highlight to somebody.
yeah, I was just like,
on
you gotta be
Instagram or
kidding
something.
me.
Yeah.
Definitely a freak.
Unstoppable.
Bunch of freaks.
And then even if it's not getting through, he's taking up 3 blocks one time.
Mm-hmm.
Just a strong boy out of Pittsburgh.
He's from Pitt?
Yeah.
Oh. Didn't know that.
Yeah,
Learn something
so
new every
Kenny
day.
Pick does from Pitt.
Anything else y'all wanted to go over?
No, sir.
Nothing comes to mind.
Any teasers you want to drop?
Teasers for
As in,
I don't know if you want to like something you want to talk about later.
Me so horny. Start stripping.
No. All right, never mind. So that does it for the show. Thanks for
Got awkward.
Thanks for tuning in. We appreciate all the followers and listeners. Hopefully, RJ didn't scare you away from the show. Please
That's gonna be
avert
our
your
clip for this
eyes. If you
Ain't no
like the
joke,
video,
it's
if you like the first 90% of the video, please like, subscribe, share. We really appreciate it. Drop a comment. Again, we can probably blur out the third screen if need be. But adios.
See you later.